Hello students, welcome back to Career Power Hyderabad powered by Adda 24/7. So students, today we'll discuss the important current affairs, but before going into the video, please subscribe our YouTube channel, like and share our videos, join the Telegram channel, download the Career Power Hyderabad app. We'll provide the links in the description as well as comment section below. So the first current affair for today, so Prime Minister Narendra Modi has launched developmental projects in Goa. So with a total cost of over 650 crores, PM Modi has launched developmental projects in Goa on the eve of the Goa Liberation Day. Okay, so he also felicitated the freedom fighters and veterans who participated in Operation Vijay. So Operation Vijay is an operation to conquer Goa from Portuguese. So Goa current Chief Minister Pramod Sawant, Goa Governor is Sridharan Pillai. So here is the list of some major projects inaugurated by PM Modi. So please go through the list. So next current affair, so Gabriel Boric is elected as the youngest ever president of Chile. Okay, so we call Chile in Spanish, Chile in English. Okay, so 35-year-old Gabriel Boric is the new president, youngest president of Chile. So he will assume office in March 2022. So this will be the record in the history of Chile. He will be the youngest president. So he received nearly 56% of the votes which were polled in the recent election. So in Latin America, Chile was once most stable economy, but now Chile is facing a lot of income inequalities. So it has world's largest income gaps. 1% of the population in Chile is having 25% of the country's wealth. So Mr. Boric, he promised to address this inequality by expanding the social rights, by reforming the Chile's pension and healthcare system, by reducing the work week from 45 hours to 40 hours, and also boosting green investment. Okay, so he is a anti-capitalist. So because of all these things, the stock market in Chile also reduced. The value of the Chile's currency, peso, also reduced. So he is also promising to stop the controversial mining project which is going to be launched in Chile. So this is about all the things about Gabriel Boric. So Chile capital, Santiago, and currency is peso. So this is the flag of Chile. So Chile is a world's largest north to south extent country. So it is extended from northwards to southwards. Okay. So it is present in South America, very far from India. Here is India and here is South America. In South America continent you will find Chile. So it is a north to south extended country. You can see the length of the country is very large. So Punjab Chief Minister has given the tag of state festival to Jagannath Rath Yatra. So Chief Minister of Punjab, Charanjit Singh Channi, so he declared that Lord Krishna Balaram Jagannath Rath Yatra will be announced as annual state festival. Okay, so this announcement was given during the 25th Jagannath Rath Yatra procession. So he also granted 2.5 crore for ISKCON temple in Ludhiana in Punjab. Okay, so also Punjab government is developing a Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana research center on a 20-acre land in Patiala. So these are all the projects related which are happening in Punjab state. So Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi is a new Chief Minister. So please remember, Punjab Governor Banwarlal Purohit. So Punjab is going to elections. So that's why it will be in news. So please follow Punjab and UP news. UP is also going to elections. So UP government is going to launch free smartphone Yojana on December 25th. So December 25th is the birth anniversary of senior BJP leader, former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So on this day, free smartphone Yojana will be launched by the state government. So on 25th December, the Chief Minister will distribute 60,000 smartphones, 40,000 tablet phones to the youth. Okay, so this particular scheme is applicable to the final year students of graduation and above. So nearly 38 lakh youth have registered for this on the DigiShakti portal. Still registrations are going on. So they will be given to just 60,000 youth smartphones, and another 40,000 will be given tablets. So total 1 lakh will be benefited from this new scheme. So UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, UP Governor Anandabhen Patel. So Pradeep Kumar Rawat is the new India's envoy to China. So he is the new ambassador to China. So Pradeep Kumar Rawat, so during the time of turmoil situations between India and China because of this border standoff at Ladakh and earlier in Doklam, we have some intense situations between China and India. So during this time, Pradeep Kumar Rawat was appointed as the India's next ambassador to China. So he is an Indian Foreign Service Officer of 1990 batch. So he is currently working in Netherlands as an Indian envoy. Earlier he worked for Hong Kong and Beijing. So he is very fluent in the Chinese language, Mandarin. So earlier he worked as Joint Secretary East Asia in the Ministry of External Affairs during the Doklam border standoff. So he worked as an ambassador to Indonesia earlier and to Timor Leste. So he is very very familiar with the activities happening in China. So that is why he is a good choice for China's India ambassador to China. So this is about Pradeep Kumar Rawat. So next, Harjinder Singh was named the India's chief de mission for Beijing Olympics, Winter Olympics 2022, which are going to happen in Beijing. So Indian Olympic Association, they appointed Harjinder Singh as the chief de mission. So the duty of chief de mission is to follow the Indian contingent. So to make all the arrangements required for the Indian contingent in the Winter Olympics, which are going to be held in 2022 in Beijing. So earlier, for the earlier Winter Olympics which were held in South Korea in 2018, Harjinder Singh was also the chief de mission. So he will do all the requirements needed for the Indian athletes. So Indian Olympic Association, who appointed him. So this body is responsible for selecting athletes to sports like Olympic Games, Asian Games and international athlete meets. They also act as Indian Commonwealth Games Association, mainly selecting athletes to the Commonwealth Games. It was established in 1927, headquartered in New Delhi. So next, Atul Dinkar Rane is appointed as the CEO and MD of BrahMos Aerospace. So Atul Dinkar Rane is a pioneer in contributing techno-managerial leadership, mainly in the defense sector. So he was responsible for development and induction of BrahMos missile into the armed forces. He is renewed for his decades of sustained R&D contributions, indigenous design and development of various mission critical onboard computers, hardware in loop simulation studies, system analysis, development of mission software, avionics, all these things. So Atul Dinkar Rane is the new CEO of BrahMos Aerospace Limited. So BrahMos Aerospace established in 1998, headquartered in New Delhi. So next, Government of India and German Development Bank, they have signed an agreement for $442 million loan for Surat Metro Rail project. So the total cost of the project is 442 million euros. So currently today they have signed for 26 million euros. So for a 40-kilometer long Surat Metro Rail project in Gujarat, so Government of India has signed an agreement with the German Development Bank, KfW. Okay, so the total cost of the project is 1.5 billion euros, of which German Development Bank is funding 442 million, and another 250 million euros is funded by the French Development Bank, AFD. So both German bank and French bank, both of them are supporting the Surat Metro Rail project. So this project is mainly aimed to reduce traffic congestion, long delays on major travel corridors in Surat city and urban areas. So this is mainly to strengthen the transport infrastructure of Surat. So total it has 2 corridors. Okay, so it is present in Gujarat state. So Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Bhai Patel and Governor is Acharya Devvrat. So German Development Bank, which was established in 1948, headquartered in Frankfurt, Germany. French Development Bank, established in 1941, headquartered in Paris. Okay. So next, the Competition Commission of India has approved the acquisition of total shareholding in Air India by Tata Sons. So Competition Commission of India, they approved the acquisition of the entire shareholding in Air India by Thalys Private Limited, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of Tata Sons. It was established in 2020 mainly to acquire Air India company. Okay, so they will also acquire in Air India Express and Air India SATS airport services along with the entire Air India company. So Air India is wholly owned by the Government of India. Okay, so now it will be transferred to Tata Sons. Okay, so Tata Sons, they buy this entire enterprise for 18,000 crores with 100% equity shareholding in the Air India company. So this Thales Private Limited, established in 2020, headquartered in Mumbai. They are part of Tata Sons. Tata Sons established in 1868 by Jamshedji Tata and headquartered in Mumbai. So let us discuss about Competition Commission of India, which is established in 2003, headquartered in New Delhi. So they are mainly for fair competition for greater good. Their motto is fair competition for greater good. So Air India, established in 1932 by Jamshedji Tata, but later on nationalized by the government. Again now Tata Sons is acquiring Air India. It is headquartered in New Delhi. Okay, So this is about Air India SATS airport services. They provide ground handling services at various airports in India and also cargo handling services at Bengaluru. Air India along with Air India Express, they mainly engage in domestic scheduled air passenger traffic service, air cargo transport service, and also the international scheduled air transport services. Okay, so that means they do transportations. So this is about Air India Express, Air India and Air India SATS airport services. So Equity Small Finance Bank, they have become partner of the Maharashtra state government. So Equity Small Finance Bank will now offer services to their employees of the state government. They'll enable now this bank is enabled to distribute salaries and allowances to the existing employees and also providing pensions to the pensioners. Okay. So now they can open salary account and pension accounts of the existing and retired employees across 58 branches of the bank across the state. So Bandhan Bank, Kaur Vaishya Bank, South Indian Bank, earlier they also were given this same banking partnership with the Maharashtra state government. So Equitas Small Finance Bank established 2016, headquartered in Chennai, and the tagline of Equitas Small Finance Bank is "It's fun banking." Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari, Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, you know, very easy. So next, Indian Navy's second indigenous stealth destroyer Marmagao has been launched into the sea. It has started its maiden sea trials. So this is the second indigenous stealth destroyer of Project 15B class, which will be commissioned in mid 2022. So recently, INS Visakhapatnam, which is part of the Project 15B stealth guided missile destroyers, was commissioned into the Indian Navy at Naval Dockyard. So the second version of this Visakhapatnam class is Marmagao, third is Impal, fourth is Surat. So total 4 warships are developed under Project 15B. So they were designed by the Navy's Directorate of Naval Design and constructed by the Musgam Dock Shipbuilders Limited in Mumbai. So these ships are equipped with BrahMos supersonic missiles, long-range surface-to-air missiles, medium-range surface-to-air missiles, indigenous torpedo tube launchers, anti-submarine rocket launchers, super rapid guns. All these are the latest equipment present on these stealth destroyers. Okay, so destroyers come next to aircraft carrier. They are very powerful for Indian Navy in the terms of reach and endurance. So the different types of destroyers we have in India are the Kolkata class, the Delhi class, the Rajput class, and now recently we are bringing the Visakhapatnam class. Okay, so please remember the Chief of Naval Staff Admiral R. Harikumar, recently appointed. So remember, Vice Chief S.N. Gormade, Deputy Chief Ravanit Singh. So next, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. So this scheme has suppressed the 44 crore mark. So Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, so the total number of beneficiaries in this scheme are now 44.05 crores. So with a total balance of 1,47,812 crores, so on December 8, so the total amount present in these accounts is 1,47,812 crores. Total we have now 44.05 crores of Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana accounts. So in this total accounts, UP state has the highest number of accounts, followed by Bihar state. Okay, so this Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana scheme was launched on August 28 in 2014, mainly with an aim to provide universal access to banking solutions. It's a national mission aiming to provide access to various financial services like remittance, credit, insurance, pension, banking, savings and deposit accounts in affordable manner. So according to the RBI guidelines, so savings and current accounts, they are classified as dormant if there are no transactions in the account for next 2 years. So if for 2 years, if the accounts are not active, they will be considered as dormant. So what is Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana? It's a financial inclusion scheme. We provide universal access to banking facilities. So every person who is not having a banking account will be provided a zero balance bank account freely by the government. Okay, you need not pay any charges for this bank accounts. So recently during the COVID times, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has provided 500 rupees to every woman account holder during the COVID time for 3 months. So next, Viziki report. So according to this Viziki report, Reliance is the India's most visible corporate in media field. Okay, so in this report, Reliance ranks first, SBI ranks second, third is Bharati Airtel, fourth is Infosys, fifth is Tata Motors, 6 HDFC, 7 TCS, 8 is Maruti Suzuki India, 9 is Vodafone Idea, and 10 is ICICI Bank. So Reliance is the India's most visible corporate in media. The highest ranked state-owned firm is NTPC, which is ranked at 13. So if you see the global rankings, Facebook stood first, second is Google, third Amazon, 4 Apple, 5 Samsung, 6 Netflix, 7 Microsoft, 8 Reliance, 12 is Tesla, and 18 is Tata Motors. So in the world global rankings, Facebook is first. In India rankings, Reliance is first. So Viziki News Score is the industry's first integrated metrics that measures news visibility. So it is based on the Viziki's news score of each brand that analyzes the volume of news, headline grabs, unique reach of media publications and readership. So Viziki was established in 2019. It is headquartered in Gurugram, Haryana. So next, IIT Roorkee has bagged the first position among the most innovative institutes by Confederation of Indian Industries. So IIT Roorkee was selected for the Industrial Innovations Award. It was given the first position under the most innovative research institutions category for the year 2021. For the year 2020, IIT Roorkee was given the most innovative institute of the year award. So back to back 2 years, IIT Roorkee has won the award. So these awards are given by the Confederation of Indian Industry, which was established in 1895, headquartered in New Delhi. It is mainly a non-government, not-for-profit, industry-led, industry-managed organization which plays a proactive role in India's development process to create an environment for the development of country, partnering all the industries, government and civil society. Okay, so PV Sindhu was among the 6 appointed members of Badminton World Federation Athletics Commission till 2025. So a total 6-member committee was appointed by the Badminton World Federation called the Athletics Commission. So PV Sindhu is one of them. So here are the other 5 people. Please go through the list. Among these 6 people, they will decide their chairman and the deputy chairman. So who appointed this committee? The Badminton World Federation, which was established in 1934, headquartered in Kuala Lumpur. It is a governing body of the badminton sport and which is recognized by the International Olympic Committee. So finally, final news, National Mathematics Day observed on 22nd December. Since 2012, we are celebrating National Mathematics Day. In 2012, it is the 125th birthday of Dr. Srinivas Ramanujan. So from then onwards, we are celebrating this National Mathematics Day on 22nd December. Okay. So this year marks the 134th birthday of Srinivas Ramanujan. The main aim of the day is to make people aware of the development of mathematics and the importance in the growth of humanity. So Ramanujan has a wealthy of ideas that transformed and reshaped the 20th century mathematics. So his ideas continue to shape the mathematics of 21st century world. Okay. So Ramanujan, he is born in Tamil Nadu in a Tamil Brahmin Iyengar family. So he studied in a government college in Kumbakonam. He failed due to negligence of non-mathematics subjects. Later on, he joined the Trinity College. He completed his BSc from the Trinity College, then elected to the London Mathematical Society. So he died at a very young age of 32. So a 2015 movie based on him is called The Man Who Know Infinity. So these are details about Ramanujan. Please go through all the details. So quickly we'll revise. So PM Modi launched a 650 crore worth projects in Goa. Gabriel Boric is the youngest ever president-elect of Chile. Punjab has given the state festival tag to Jagannath Radhayatra. Uttar Pradesh has launched the free smartphone Yojana scheme on December 25th. Pradeep Kumar Rawat is the India's new envoy to China. Harjinder Singh is Chief D Mission for Beijing Winter Olympics 2022. Atul Dinkar Rane is the CEO MD of BrahMos Aerospace. German Bank and India has signed Euro 442 million loan for Surat Metro Rail project. Air India was acquired by Tata Sons. Equita Small Finance Bank is the banking partner of Maharashtra. Second indigenous stealth destroyer which launched its sea trails is Marmago. PM Jandan Yojana total accounts are now 44.05 crores, of which UP has the highest number of accounts. Viziki report, India's most visible corporate in media Reliance. In the world, it is Facebook. So Confederation of Indian Industries Most Innovative Research Institutions category award goes to IIT Roorkee. PV Sindhu is a part of Badminton World Federation Athletics Commission till 2025. National Mathematics Day is observed on 22nd December. So these are all the current affairs for today. So please subscribe our YouTube channel, like and share our videos, join the Telegram channel. At 7 p.m. please answer the MCQs based on the video. So we have MCQs at 7 p.m. in our Telegram channel. So please download the Career Power Hyderabad app also. We will provide the links in the description as well as comment section below. Thank you students. We'll meet in the next class.